Welcome to the Last Mile Profits videocast, the last word on the last mile. Surely it's time for the UK to switch more of its business towards out-of-home. Modern Expo provides an integral ecosystem of screen-operated lockers, screenless autonomous solutions, refrigerated lockers, and even personal parcel lockers, powered by an in-house developed software. Marek, I can barely believe this. Over half the people surveyed in this Citizens Advice report in the UK mentioned a problem with a delivery, and 27% said that was staying at home was the problem. So what's your take on that?
It doesn't surprise me so much because home delivery is actually a pain in the neck. To be fair, the UK is probably the one place in the world where it works relatively well because Leave with Neighbour is quite an accepted form of delivery. But actually, if you think about it, the writing is on the wall. Imagine instead of having to sit at home and wait for the courier, all I needed to do would be to visit my locker, which is slipper distance, or my local Pudo, which is on my way, and pick up the parcel at a time that's convenient. Then you would not have to wait. You would not have the risk of a parcel being left in an insecure place, which I think was on the list as well, Peter. You would not have the fact that you had a failed delivery. For me, the writing is on the wall, Peter.
It feels like it isn't 2023 when I read these figures. And is the UK behind the curve when it comes to out of home?
I think, in a way, the UK is a victim of its own success because it's a little bit like, I think, what's happening with combustion engines. Some European manufacturers have become so good at developing combustion engines that they've got caught up with that technology and perhaps they've left it a bit late to look at electric and other forms of power. And I think it's the same thing. The UK, companies like DPD have been extremely successful. I think they're getting 98+% first-time delivery, which is unheard of because they've got very good interactive delivery management, because you've got Leave with Neighbour. The truth, though, is not only do you have all the things that are mentioned in the report, which is to do with convenience, first-time delivery, but home delivery sucks from an environmental point of view. Home delivery is killing our environment.
No doubt about that.
And I reckon, Peter, that in that sense, yes, the UK is behind. Quite often, I don't know if you've heard it, I've heard people say, well, yeah, but Marek, the UK is not an out-of-home market. My answer, surprise, is always the same. It is. The only problem is no one has offered a service that is good enough, or not enough services are good enough. So what does it mean? Good enough means proximate, slipper distance. Thank you, bpost, for that phrase. Where the customer experience is great. So if it's a locker, it has to be 24/7, has to be open, has to be in a safe and accessible place. If it's a Pudo, and this is a big deal, the customer experience in the Pudo should be such that you actually want to go back. So you've got somebody happy and smiling and efficient, not somebody whinging, complaining, and very inefficient. So, of course, there are things that need to be done, but it's doable.
Well, Marek, that's an interesting point because quite a lot of customer interface with couriers is also showing negative. It polls very negatively. Quarter are complaining that the couriers scarpered off before they've even had a chance to answer the door, and I suppose the pressure that these poor delivery guys are under, guys and girls, that they're not around for a chat. It's not their job.
Well, I'll tell you something, you're absolutely right, Peter. And even when I was sort of VP at Amazon for Europe, I made sure that I drove with a courier or make deliveries myself. And it is a really, really tough job. So, no one should suggest that these guys have it easy. Having said that, there are scenarios in which the courier is perhaps not giving the customer experience he or she should. It doesn't happen with a locker, because lockers don't have bad days. They don't get upset. They don't tend to go on strike. Yes, sometimes they can fail, but that's really very, very, very unusual. Pudos are a little bit in the middle. I was talking to one of my large postal clients, and they were saying, well, we've got a bit of a challenge because locker customer experience is really great. Doesn't work quite the same way with Pudos. Watch this space, by the way, Peter, because I'm really interested in this whole area. And I reckon that there is a real opportunity to create a Pudo experience that will be almost like a locker experience. And when that is achieved, frankly, why have home delivery? Because if it's so close that it's almost like a home delivery, slipper distance, if the customer experience is great, you choose when you pick up the parcel. You know, there could even be, Peter, some parcels you don't want delivered home. The present that you've forgot or something and you want to find a way to bring it safely. If it's something you don't want a member of your family to see, also you may have it delivered to a PUDO. So, you know, there's a lot of reasons why you might want a PUDO. So the writing, I would say, is on the wall.
There's a lot of negative aspects of this survey that can be eliminated by out of home. Parcel theft is one of them. There's also seems to be a really big backup when it comes to customer service. So responding to inquiries about missed deliveries or misdelivered deliveries. So we can eliminate all of that, and maybe these parcel delivery services can reallocate resource into other areas. There, it could be a win-win.
Absolutely. I think a lot of it, AI can deal with some of the where's my parcel type problems, because even if it's a PUDO, people sometimes will still ask. But frankly, they shouldn't be served by a human. It should be someone that seems human or something that seems human, gives them all the answers they need. But you're absolutely right. I think, the future is going to be the software technology behind that, good, reliable, proximate, convenient out of home, both lockers and PUDOs. And frankly, the last thing, this is a really big deal, stakeholder education. Because I think a lot of people, if they understood that by having it delivered to a slipper distance PUDO or locker, it could be cheaper for them in the long run, even if they don't see it. And it could involve, in an urban area, probably up to 2/3 less carbon. And in a rural area, even more. Wow. I think it's a bit of a no-brainer.
Absolutely, yes. And talking of human interaction, it would be really great to hear what you've got to say about this in the comments below. So, whether you're involved in the industry or from a consumer's perspective, we'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the challenges and issues around home delivery. Marek, thanks very much for your comments and interesting remarks there. Look forward to catching up with you next time. Thank you for watching the Last Mile Profits video. For more free analysis of the last mile, please like, follow and subscribe below to ensure you are notified every time we upload new content.